up, everybody? My name is Jake Isom. This is Jake Isom Ranks and Reviews. We are still doing our series on our top 10 favorite movies ever. And again, this is not saying that these are the top 10 greatest movies of all time. We're just saying these are the top 10 that we like. If it's on streaming or on TV or something like that, we're probably going to stop and watch it. I did one with my buddy Tristan a couple months ago, and so now I got my buddy Lee. We've both come up with a top 10 list of our favorite movies. Just going to go through my top 10 and honorable mentions, and then I'm going to go through Tristan's, and then we'll kind of get on with interviewing Lee. So I did an honorable mention list with mine, and I did it based on like the technical aspect of movies. And so if you want to see my deep thoughts on those, then you can go back to the other videos and we can look at those. But my top 5 honorable mention were Wizard of Oz, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Jurassic Park, Toy Story, and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Then my top 10 favorite movies of all time. My number 10 was Tombstone. Number 9 was Saving Private Ryan. Number 8 was The Shawshank Redemption. Number 7 was The Godfather. Number 6 was Jaws. Number 5 was Back to the Future. Number 4 was Ghostbusters. Number 3 was Star Wars. Number 2 was E.T. And then number 1 was Raiders of the Lost Ark. Tristan's top 10. His number 10 was Christmas Vacation. Number 9 was Talladega Nights. Number 8 was The Green Mile. Number 7 was Ocean's 11. Number 6 was JFK. Number 5 was Pearl Harbor. Number 4 was Top Gun Maverick. Number 3 was Die Hard. Number 2 was Avengers Endgame. And then number 1 was Armageddon. And then we also have created a super list. So if Lee or I, and then did the same thing with Tristan, if we have movies on our list that match, if we get a match, then I'm going to put it on a super list. If we get to the end, if we have no match, then I'll pick from all 3 lists, and then Lee will pick from all 3 lists, and we'll put 2 on our super list. So far, Tristan and I didn't have a match, so and we both picked from his list. I ended up picking a movie from his list. We put Armageddon and Die Hard on there, so that's what I did. So we'll get on with it. I will start talking to Lee now. So first of all, what I'd like to find out is just kind of like, how did you get started watching movies? Do you where's your favorite place to watch movies? You like watching them at home? You like the theater? You like the drive-in? What's your jam watching movies?
I usually like to be home because I'm a homebody.
Yeah.
So I enjoy going to the movies too. If it's a big action Avenger style movie, then I want to see it in the theater. But otherwise, I'd just soon wait and watch it at home on the couch.
Yeah, and I think that's the way a lot of people are now, because they make these systems now where you get a sound bar and you've got a pretty good surround sound system with just a sound bar and a woof, what was that, the woof subwoofer or whatever. Yeah. So you can have pretty good sound without, and the TVs are not expensive anymore. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, to get a good TV, it was about $1,500, $200, $2,000. But now you can get a good TV for $400 or $500.
Oh, yeah.
And a pretty good size one too. So.
Yeah. I just I don't know. I like being able to be in my own environment, not have to be around people all the time and all that. So I definitely prefer to watch them at home. But
do you remember the first movie you watched in a movie theater?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Probably somewhere in the Jurassic Park era.
Okay.
Somewhere in there would be my guess. I don't know what my official first movie was, but I do remember going to the old movie theater and seeing Jurassic Park. So that was probably the first big one.
That was a good one. I remember the first PG movie I went to see, which was a big deal because up until that point, I'd always gone to see like G-rated cartoons, stuff like that. So my first, my mom and dad weren't going to let me go see something hardcore, but my first PG movie was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And I remember it did have some cartoons with it because it started with Tummy Trouble with Roger Rabbit and Baby Herman, and then the opening scene was like a cartoon, but then it got to the live action movie, and I remember feeling like that was such a big deal that I'm seeing watch a real movie, not just a cartoon at the theater. So
that was a great movie too.
Yeah. Did you have a first PG movie? Which Jurassic Park's PG-13, so you kind of jumped up on me a little bit on that one.
I honestly can't remember. I'm trying to think of what I would have gone to see in a theater prior to that. We were not a theater going family. We didn't have the money to go to the theaters a whole lot. We were watching most things at home.
Same.
So we rented them from the video store.
Yeah, it was a big deal to get to go to the movies. It was a pretty big deal. So it was usually a matinee, which meant you went on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. We rarely went at the prime time, nighttime show, and it had to be something that we were pretty much begging to see, our parents wanted us to see. So it wasn't something that was all the time. It was kind of a special thing to get to go to the movies.
For sure.
All right, very good. So we'll get started. What is your what is your number 10 pick? Or did you? Or I'm sorry, you said you're not doing an honorable mention, right?
Yeah, not doing honorable mention. I may throw some in as we go.
All right,
I didn't put any down.
Okay, sounds good. What's number 10?
So I love a good heist movie. Heist movies, heist TV shows, things like that. So I went with Ocean's 11.
Okay, very good. All right.
I think that's probably the best overall heist movie. If I had to throw an honorable mention in that category, probably The Italian Job with Mark Wahlberg.
Sure.
Was a good one, but I just love heist movies, and that was the first one that I saw that the end fooled you. You know, you wanted to be able to see how it turned out in the end, and in the end when they did the switch with the vaults at the end, that was a great twist.
To me, this is one of the rare movies that the remake's better than the original.
Yes.
I think, and the original's got the Rat Pack and all those guys, the Frank Sinatra and those guys, but I don't know, the cast on that is what makes it. George Clooney and all those guys, you know, really, really good. Even and Tristan, this is going to be a super pick because Tristan also picked Ocean's 11, and so we were talking about how. Even oh gosh, and I forgot his name last time. Rhodey from the Avengers movies.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people Don Cheadle. Yeah, he's so good in that movie, and a lot of people make fun of him for his accent, but I think he's great. I thought he's so good in that. So yeah, that's a great pick.
Well, it had the comedy in it too, so it wasn't just all serious the whole time. It was comedic.
But there were stakes too. It was like there was some danger in there too. Yeah. So that's a good pick. Great pick. Very good. All right, so that's already made our super list. I'm gonna go ahead and add that. So Ocean's 11. Has made the super list. All right, what's number 9?
All right, so I tried to pick movies from different categories because it's hard to compare.
Me too.
Actions to comedies to whatever. So I was looking at sports movies, and so my favorite sports movie of all time. This is a close call because there's a bunch of good ones, but Remember the Titans.
Oh yeah.
That was a core memory for me when I was in middle school football, playing my first year of real organized school league sports. You know. And we were undefeated on the season. Before the last game, they took us to the theater to see Remember the Titans on big screen. And ever since then, it's been one of my favorites.
That was, I think, a lot of coaches took their teams to see that, or we rented it actually. We watched that movie. I can't remember if it was before one of the state playoff games or if it was the actual like just happened to come out the weekend we were playing. But I remember watching that in the field house. Like they actually had a
got you fired up.
Got you fired up before the game. Yeah, it was like a pump up movie. But yeah, that's a great pick. That was a good one. And you know, he's one of the greatest. The star in that one, Denzel Washington. Yeah, he's amazing. He's good in everything. He's kind of like Tom Hanks. You could watch him.
Oh, sure.
You know, paint. You know, watch him paint a wall and it'd be good. So I mean, he's just really good. So that's
and it had a little bit of everything. And it had a little bit of comedy here and there, and then it had the serious parts, and it had you know, this action, the sports of it. So. There's a lot of other sports movies that are close. If I had an honorable mention, probably Miracle.
Miracle's good,
would be a good one. Even some of the comedies like Major League, things like that would be good. But overall, I had to go with Remember the Titans.
Yeah, Remember the Titans, good movie. It's got like you said, a little bit of everything. Feel good movie. The little girl in it ended up being big in Nashville.
Yeah,
and
I can't remember her name now.
But she turned out to be pretty big. So yeah, great pick. All right, what's your number 8?
All right, number 8, Born Identity.
Oh, very good.
If I could put the whole trilogy on there, I would. But just the original Born Identity movie, those are some of my favorite action movies of all time. Just it's quick cuts. The whole thing is just fast paced. I love every minute of it.
I love Born Identity too, and I think I'm kind of with you. Kind of like Godfather. I hate to just put one of them.
Right.
You know, but if I had my pick, I think I like Born Ultimatum.
It was good.
Better than Born Identity. It was one of those rare sequels that was better. But I do like Born Identity. Another one that kind of the twist can get you in that one as well. So and there's real stakes to it. Like, you know, a lot of movies, especially, and I love the Marvel movies, but in those movies it's like, and Star Wars too, just because somebody dies doesn't mean you're never going to see them again. Right. So like this one actually had real stakes in it, where like, you know, oh, somebody dies, that's it. You know, they're not popping up later. So but that's a great movie. That was a good pick. All right, how about your number 7?
All right, so number 7, I can't put Marvel in a category of its own because I love all the Marvel movies. They're all favorites of mine. But if I had to narrow it down to pick one, I'd probably go with Infinity Wars.
Okay.
the Iron Man movie, the original one that kicked it all off, I loved it. I went and saw it in the theater when it first came out. That would be one of my top ones. But I think Infinity Wars overall, just the whole movie, even though they're getting stomped the whole time.
Yeah.
I think the movie overall is better than Endgame. I liked it better. Endgame had a great finale, it had a great ending. But Infinity Wars, from beginning to end, when you see all these different movies come together on screen, I think that's what makes it so entertaining. Finally get to see the Guardians overlap with everybody.
Very good. I totally agree. And Tristan and I had this conversation because he put Endgame on his it's his number 2. I told him the same thing. I said I think that Infinity War was a better movie overall than Endgame. I think that the original storytelling of it, the thing that with Endgame, and I think it's still great. I'm with you. I can watch it, but I kind of put them together, because the time travel stuff. There's been so many time travel movies, and they put that element in there. To me, it still works, and it's still really, really good. But I'm with you. I think Infinity War is just Josh Brolin is so good, and he's not even really there. They're doing all the technology things with him, with the special effects and everything to make him seem like he's Thanos, and that's the whole series leading up to that. The Infinity Saga is so good. And I guess we can go on a little rabbit hole here. I'm nervous about where they're going with Marvel now. I feel like the last few movies, I felt a lot better with Thunderbolts, and I felt a lot better with Fantastic Four. I think they're heading in a good direction. How do you feel about where they're going?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't like undoing everything that's been done. So if we're going to go down the rabbit hole of time travel and different universes, and now we're just going to undo everything and everyone's back, I don't love it. But who knows? It'll still be fun. I enjoy the movie, so I'm still going to go see. Was it Doomsday?
Yes.
But I'm curious how it plays out with the infinite universe theory and all these different things. And I just, as long as it doesn't undo things that have already happened,
right?
Because then you go down the rabbit hole of just this is never ending. We're just redoing the same stuff.
That's my fear too. And I'm not crazy about taking a character that's been a good guy and suddenly they're the bad guy. So I really hope it's Victor Von Doom and not Tony Stark.
Yeah,
just like I'm hoping Steve Rogers is going to be Captain America. And in all the promotional things, they're not calling him Captain America. They're calling him Steve Rogers. So I'm nervous that we're gonna, and it might be they might work. They may prove me wrong. But I'm the same way. I think that they did all that work building it up to what it was and that perfect crescendo. And I even before this, I wasn't too upset with Kang. I thought Kang was okay as a bad guy. I like Jonathan Majors as an actor. I know that he's maybe some of his personal life stuff's not the greatest, but I think he's actually trying to make a comeback now with some studios. But he's I understand that they had to tweak it a little bit, but anyway, I do have some concerns with it, but we'll see. We'll
see, and it'll be nice to be able to see the characters on screen again. I mean, even if Tony Stark is whatever, I don't know how they're going to play that, but being able to see them back on the screen together will still be fun.
It's definitely fun.
It'll be more exciting than some other random spin-off movie that they're going to do. So
it's always fun to see your heroes together. It's almost like you get in your toy box as a kid. You just start throwing them together and fighting. That's what I used to do. We'd have battles and stuff, and you got Spider-Man and Captain America and all the guys battling it out. So that's really the cool thing, like you said, about Avengers Endgame, was seeing all of them kind of come together at the end like that. So very good. All right, number 6.
All right, number 6. I was looking at war movies, and so there's so many good ones out there, and I'm gonna throw a wild card out there though.
Okay.
300.
Okay, very good.
300, when it first came out, and the technology was what it was, the way that they shot the scenes, the way that showed when they would spear someone and the blood would go out, and it almost looked 3D, just that style of, it was the same style as, was it Watchmen?
Watchmen, yeah.
Watchmen, same director maybe.
Yeah.
But I love that movie. King Leonidas, 300 men going out. It's just a man's movie, and it's it's not a typical war movie that you think of, but I love that kind of genre. I love the Spartan theme. The
Sin City had that look too.
Had kind of the same kind of thing in it.
I agree. 300 is one of those weird movies where the first time I watched it, I didn't like it. But then I can't remember if I saw it on HBO or I think I had HBO for a little while. And when it came on HBO, I gave it another shot. I watched it again, and it was like, okay, I like this a little bit better. And then the more I've watched it, the more I've appreciated the technology. I think, like you said, with it's almost animation, but it's
It's something I don't know how they.
I don't know how you describe that, but it's kind of like with Sin City, is that sort of stylized look.
Yes.
Took me a minute to get used to. Almost like, and it's totally different genre, but the Into the Spider-Verse movies.
Oh, it is kind of like
Same
that.
kind of thing where, once you get used to the different type animation styles, it's like it's almost sensory overload at first,
Right.
but then once you get used to it, it's really good. So, but as a movie, it is very, very good. I agree that's a good pick.
Great movie. That ending battle when you know they know they're going to die, but they're not going to give up, and it's such a good movie.
Right. Yeah, and just the message of it of just they're going to fight even though they know they're doomed. I mean, that was a good movie. All right, good pick. All right, what's your number 5?
All right, number 5, Transformers.
Okay.
Original Transformers.
Now this is not from 1987. This is with Shia LaBeouf.
No, I say original. No, I'm saying the original and the new era of Transformers.
Yeah. Okay.
The Shia LaBeouf movie, Megan Fox, the whole movie was just great. I loved it. That was the first time I guess I remember seeing that kind of. I guess it was CGI, whatever it was that they used to do it, but it looked so real.
Yeah.
And they made the Transformers, not human, but they made them have heart. They made them. It wasn't just robots versus human type things.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Agreed. And I that was one. I think a bunch. Did you go with us? There was like a group of guys all went to see that.
I don't think
together.
I did.
I think one of our buddies, Brandon, he went. He wanted to go see it. So a lot of us all went to the movies. There was a whole row of us, I think, watching that. I remember being amazed by that. And this is that era where I almost missed that era, the late 2000s. The 2000. When did it come out? 2006, 2007,
yeah, it was
something like that.
Right around there.
That era, the late 2000s, was a special time. The more you look back on it, on movies, I think it was a great time for film, because I think I'm like you. I remember this when that Transformer falls into the pool. And then he gets out, and it's showing all the intricate little parts of his leg and everything when he's getting out.
The detail in it.
And there's a certain part where Shia LaBeouf's in the car, and then there's an explosion or something, and it shows him coming out of the car, and then it reforms around him. I mean, just the whole movie's amazing. And it's Steven Spielberg was behind it a little bit. He was an executive producer, and anything he touches, or for a while there, anything he touched was going to be good. Gold. If his name was on it, it was good. Now. I don't enjoy the sequels of that as much.
No, I don't either.
I think it was one that kind of lost its way a little bit.
Yeah.
But the first one, I'm with you. It was very, very.
And it was one of those things that I remember people telling me to go see, and me being like, Transformers. I don't know if that's really something I want to see. But then once I watched it, I was like, oh man, that was actually really good.
Well,
and I was going to tell more people about.
And I'm a little older than you, but that's one of the first ones that. Someone of my age, that takes you back to your childhood.
That's
I
true.
mean, and I don't know if you've seen the trailer for Masters of the Universe yet. That's coming out. Same kind of vibe, same kind of feeling. Like, oh man, these are the toys that we played with, and now they're up on screen. And they just they just had to wait for the technology to get here to where they could make those things. But yeah, that was a good pick. All right, number 4.
All right, number 4, The Matrix.
Good one.
First Matrix. And that's kind of another one where, the second 2 weren't as good.
No.
But the original Matrix, again, talk about just the newness of it. When the technology first came out and you see him bend backwards on screen and dodging the bullets, I was fascinated. Even though I was young and I had to watch it 15 times to understand it, it was one of those all-time for me that just, at the time, it was so fascinating to see.
It was another one that took a lot of different genres of movies.
Yep.
It even took some biblical things. It took ideas from Alice in Wonderland. It took ideas from the old, the Kung Fu movies, of the 50s and 60s. And it just kind of melded all those ideas together and made this crazy movie. It was really, really good. I'm the same way. I didn't enjoy, especially the third. I think as they get, the second one's okay. It got a little weirder, and it again, when you go back and retcon things or change things around, I'm not a big fan of that. So, but I definitely did love the first one, and I think that's another one that and that's what these lists are all about. I could go back and watch it wherever it's at on TV, and I can just watch it all the whole way through. Yeah, it's really, really good.
And they predicted, they're kind of predicting the AI thing too.
Sure,
that was the whole basis of that movie was machines took over and AI dominated. Now here we are living with AI, and who knows what the future's going to hold. But
the whole idea of entertainment, and it kind of just touches on this a little bit, but the way that we get plugged in. to something, and to where it kind of takes over, everything,
Right.
and what's real and what's not.
Yep.
And I know we're not quite there yet, but when you're watching a video or you're watching a movie or a TV show, they can make scenery,
Yes.
you think it's really outside, or you think that's really real, and it's not even, it's all AI generated. It's
Yep.
just crazy to me that
fascinating.
we're there. Yep. All right, very good pick. All right, number 3.
All right, number 3. This is tough because this could be number 1, but I had 2 different comedies I put on the list because I love comedies. Both
Okay.
of them, they're 1 and 3 for me.
Yeah.
And it was really close, but number 3, My Cousin Vinny.
Okay, very good.
Old school movie. Most people probably don't even know it, but man, it is so funny. There's so many great one-liners that to this day I still quote randomly in day-to-day life, and that's what makes a great comedy to me is can you quote it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say the same lines over and over again in different aspects of life? And being based in Alabama, and then you had Joe Pesci come in, and it's just the whole movie is so funny.
Joe Pesci's so great in that. Marissa Tomei is good.
Yes.
The guy from The Munsters, I can't remember his name.
The Judge.
He's funny.
Yep.
And then you got the Karate Kid. Yeah, and he's in it. He's funny. He's that perpetual kid too. Like
Yep.
he's always playing a young guy. In everything that he was in for a while. That was a really good one. That's one that I'm thankful we had cable.
Yes.
Because there's no way my
Yes.
parents would have let me
No.
watch that. Because I remember I never could get to see the whole movie because and you can look this up, kids. Back in the day, if you saw something on TV, like you couldn't just like now it appears. You just
Right.
go to an app or something, you turn it on. Back in my day, you had to actually like look in a TV guide or in the paper and like see
Hope that it
what
was
time
coming
something
on.
came on. And so a lot of times my grandparents had cable. We never. You talked about like not going to the movies much. We didn't even have cable growing up. We
Yep.
had just a few channels, and so my grandmother had TBS and TNT and all that. This was one of those that would come on there, so I was fortunate enough to get to see little bits and pieces of it. Plus, it was edited, so it wasn't too bad. But then I think I remember watching this a little bit after you and my sister got married. We watched a little bit of this at Child's house on there, when not all the way through, and it just is so good.
It's
so
you can
good.
laugh from beginning to finish, but it was one of those old movies that you weren't going to be allowed to rent from the video store.
No.
So you're going to have to watch it when it came on TV,
Not in our house,
and you're only going to catch the beginning of it or the end of it or whatever in between. But it's one of those movies that I remember I was probably way too young to be watching it, and I would watch it on TV. But as I've gotten older and it comes on more and more now than it used to, that it's just stuck with me, and it's so good. There's so many quotes in it, so many different aspects of it that are funny. So.
And from what I've listened to a lot of different podcasts and things, I can't remember exactly who was saying this. Somebody who's a lawyer was saying that of all the courtroom movies, this is one of the most accurate as far as how you practice law and what you can actually do and not do in a courtroom, the interaction between the judge and he, because there's so many of these, like, I don't know, something like Perry Mason or something like, a courtroom drama, Law and Order, or what was that? A Few Good Men. Things in those movies, which great movie, but some of those things that never allow in a courtroom, or you would never do, in certain situations. And so this is one that, and it's so funny, and it's the most realistic too, which is kind of cool too.
You won't let him wear the leather jacket.
No,
he makes him get the suit out of his car, the brown suit out of the store that got the flu. Everything in that movie is so funny.
And even the way he talks, Utes, all the things. I could watch that one anytime. Very good pick. All right, number 2.
All right, number 2, Inception.
Okay, very good.
I love those style movies. Those are close. I would say a close honorable mention would be Interstellar.
Okay.
But I love Christopher Nolan movies that are like that, where they just the imagery, and you got to think, and you got to watch it 2 or 3 times to understand. It's another reason why I love The Matrix, because it's the writing's so good that you can't figure it out all at once. You got to watch it multiple times. But that was one that I felt like that was the last truly like original movie that's come out in a long time.
Yeah.
Everything now is sequels and superheroes
or
and all these
derivatives.
things. I miss that style of movie. They tried a couple different ones. Like I said, Interstellar was good. They tried Tenet. Was a little much.
I was excited for Tenet because it was after COVID. It was the first movie I went and saw after COVID, and but it just didn't quite hit the same
it was
way.
hard to follow. But Inception, I felt like, man, just watching the whole idea of them building the architecture of it and flipping the buildings upside down in the sky and all that stuff, I loved it.
It was so good,
and leaving you on a little bit of a cliffhanger at the end, where you're like, okay, so was it the spinner going to fall?
Did
or
he
was
follow
it
it or not? And there was a there's a big debate online because there was, and you were either on team it fell or it didn't fall,
Yeah.
and I mean people would get like pretty upset
Oh,
with
yeah,
each other
for sure.
about that, and have some pretty heated debates about whether or not he's dreaming right there.
Right.
Where do you fall on that?
I think it was going to fall.
I think it was
he
going to
got
fall
out.
too, because if you watch at the very end,
It started
to
wobbling
me
a
it
little
seemed
bit
like
more.
it's wobbling, and I think if it hadn't been wobbling, you know, and I think Nolan, I can't remember exactly, so I probably shouldn't say for sure, but I want to say Nolan refused to say
which way it was
because he wanted to keep
he wanted people to think.
And see, just something like that, just having that,
Yeah.
you know, having a movie like that makes you think that much
Yeah.
about it, and that we're still talking about it today. It is pretty cool, and you're right about the new idea stuff. And as much as I love a good comic book movie or a, you know, even animated movies or movies that are based on IP, I think there's something cool about new ideas and original ideas, and I think we've kind of lost.
Been a long
lost
time
that.
since we've had that. There's been, and that's the thing. Talking about going to the movies or staying at home, there hasn't been many movies I wanted to go see lately.
Right.
You know, everything is just a repeat of something that's already been done, or it's
A reboot,
remake, and I missed that kind of movie that just like, man, that was creative. Who thought of that? The idea of dreams within dreams and putting all that on screen. We need more of that to come out.
Yeah, the from the 80s till the late 2000s, I feel like that was more the norm. It was like, and yeah, you did have starting in 2000 with X-Men and everything. You started having more and more superhero movies,
Right.
and then, but you also had Lord of the Rings, and you had all these different kinds of movies that were coming out. And yeah, maybe they were based on a book, but we hadn't seen, you know, 100 different variations of it before that. So, but that was a great pick. Yeah, very, very good pick. All right, what's your number one?
Right. Number one, in no way, shape, or form is ever going to win an award for being a all-time great movie, but I can't go against it. Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Okay, very good.
A close call with My Cousin Vinny, and there's plenty of other honorable mention comedy movies out there. Several Adam Sandler movies that I would be close.
Yeah.
But Dumb and Dumber, again, I go back to comedies. Is it something that you can quote day in, day out? Are there lines that are still funny to this day? And it's not just that it's funny, but it's smart comedy. It's stuff that you really like. If you're a kid, you're not even going to understand. You gotta wait till your brain can comprehend some of the things that are said. And some of the things, the stories I've heard, like when he is in the bar and yells out, "We landed on the moon." I heard that was just complete ad lib, that he saw that on the wall and stopped and did that. Stuff like that.
Same. Yeah.
You know, so many GIFs and things on your phone come from Dumb and Dumber. The one where he's gagging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's too hard to beat for me. I will watch it every single time, and I will still laugh every single time.
And a movie that's about two dumb guys being so smart.
Yes.
It's such a smart movie, and all that. I remember where I was when I watched that movie, and a lot of these, it's funny. Your whole list, it's like I can think back to where I was. Inception, I watched in the theater. Dumb and Dumber, I didn't watch in the theater, but all right, kids, it's another thing. And if you've seen, what was it, Captain Marvel, you know, used to be Blockbuster Video.
Yep.
You'd go to Blockbuster Video on a Friday or Saturday night, whatever, with your buddies. You rent a movie. I was 13 years old when we rented Dumb and Dumber, and I watched it at my friend's house and laughed so hard, you know, and kind of like with what was we must have talked about Anchorman or Step Brothers. You know, some of those movies I love a movie where you laugh the whole time.
Yep.
And you can watch it over and over again and find new things, new lines that you hear that make you laugh. And so this is another one that's great pick. Great pick.
I love those movies too, that like no matter how many times you've seen it, you're still going to laugh at. You laugh in anticipation of thinking about the line that's coming up in the movie.
Right, yeah.
And like I said, the smart comedy aspect of it, just some of the lines in the movie that you think, how did you think of that? Who thought to even write that down on a page? You know, those are skis, both of them. You know, I mean, it's like, who even thinks of that kind of stuff? But it's so
Samsonite.
good. Samsonite.
You know.
I could sit here for an hour and a half and quote the whole thing. But and it's good.
Very good. Yeah, and I think Jeff Daniels was sort of embarrassed by it a little bit. But, I mean, it's so good.
It's a classic.
So good. Yeah.
It's a classic.
Classic movie. Yeah, great film. Yeah, so, and we don't have, and Tristan and I talked about this too, we don't have comedy anymore as much anymore.
Yep.
Without it being like loaded with some kind of
it's got to be over the top,
message,
and it's got to be.
It's got to, you know, I don't want to go and be preached to. I just want to go and watch a movie and laugh. I don't want to have to, like, you know, not that messages are always bad, but it feels like, you know, there's just not something that's really funny where we're not worrying about, people used to take a joke and,
yeah.
and they seem to not be able to anymore.
Yeah.
But that was I'm not sure they would make that anymore.
No, and you think about it. I mean, there was some stuff in it, but for the most part, it's a pretty clean movie. Nowadays, comedies have got to be R-rated. They've got to be over the top with everything going on. You can't find just a funny comedy out there,
Sure.
But for its time, it's a fairly clean movie for the most part.
Yeah.
And still just as funny as some of these other ones that come out that aren't. So.
Yeah, super funny movie. Yeah, very good. So we did have a super list because we did have a match. We did Ocean's 11. So right now your top 10. We'll just go through them again real quick in case you guys want to go back and watch them. Number 10 was Ocean's 11. Number 9, Remember the Titans. Number 8, Born Identity. Number 7, Avengers: Infinity War. Number 6, 300. Number 5, Transformers. Number 4, The Matrix. Number 3, My Cousin Vinny. Number 2, Inception. Number 1, Dumb and Dumber. And what I love about doing this and just looking at all our lists is that there's so much variety in there too. And something you're talking about, growing up in our era, like I said, the 80s all the way up to the late 2000s, it was like any given weekend at the movies, you might have, 2 or 3 different kinds of movies. You'd have a heist movie, you'd have a hero movie, you'd have a Western, you'd have, all these different kinds of movies and, war movie. And now it seems like we're kind of homogenized a little bit, or it's all, like you said, derivative or based on something. So the variety's cool to look at that. Yeah. So hopefully that comes back a little bit. I think there's always hope that things will continue to get better, maybe a little bit. But for our super list, and let me just double check. I don't think there was another match. I think that was it. Yeah. So right now on our super list, we got number 1 Armageddon, 2 Die Hard, 3 Ocean's 11, and so we did get a super cut on that. All right. Well, Lee, appreciate you coming and talking to me about movies.
Enjoyed it.
Any last thoughts you wanted to say or anything?
I think that's it. I think they're good lists so far. I think that's the biggest thing missing from cinema now is just the variety. Like we said, you're not able to go to the theaters and see a list of movies like this anymore.
Yeah. So hopefully that comes up and that gets better maybe, hopefully. So anyway, if you like this video, like, subscribe, helps people find me. So anyway, till next time, have a good one. Thanks, Lee.
Appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it.